Hi guys, my name is Arpita and I welcome you all back to my channel Flights of Fantasy. Today, while the nation fights coronavirus, I wanted to share some very important travel tips with all of you. Now, it is highly advisable that you do not step out of your house. I have been at home for the past 1 week, not really stepped out. But just in case of a dire emergency that you need to be traveling, that you need to be flying, what are the important tips that you need to be keeping in mind while you do so? So in this video today, I'm going to be talking to you about how safe it is to fly in an aircraft during this kind of a situation. What are the advised safety protocol? How to choose your seat carefully inside an aircraft. Please do watch this video till the end. If you have any questions for me, do write to me. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Welcome back, guys. So it is advisable that people limit their air travel and only fly if it is necessary, which is the need of the hour. That said, it is safe to fly as long as you look after your health by strictly adhering to the advised safety protocols. And specifically, I'm going to cover a couple of points for you which you need to keep in mind while you're traveling on board an aircraft. First thing, cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Keep enough tissues handy. If you have cold or cough, wear a surgical mask at all times and also seek medical care before you travel. Cough into your elbow instead of your hands. You're supposed to be carrying an alcohol-based sanitizer for frequent use. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. You also have to avoid using blankets provided by the airline. Instead, I would recommend that you carry your own jacket or shawl if you need to use it throughout the flight. Maintain safe distance with your co-travelers while you're standing in a queue. Please avoid touching your nose, mouth, face with your hands. You can also avoid touching the elevator buttons, taps, doorknobs, handles with your hands. Avoid touching tray tables, magazines, seat pockets in flights, and sanitize your hands frequently if you come in contact with these kind of objects. You will also have to be very careful of surface contamination. If you feel ill during a flight, please alert one of the cabin attendants immediately. They will be able to assist you effectively. Besides, the airlines have a number of measures in place to limit the spread of coronavirus. The aircraft undergo deep cleaning every day using effective chemical solutions. Now, this is supplemented by quicker cleans between the flights using similar kind of solutions. People often ask about air quality in an aircraft. The aircrafts are equipped with sophisticated air filters that renew cabin air every few minutes. These high efficiency particulate air, which is also called HEPA, filters are same used in operating theaters and are designed to filter out microbes like the coronavirus. Now, the World Health Organization defines contact with an infected person as being seated within 2 rows of one another. But people don't just sit during flights, particularly ones which are lasting longer than a few hours. They visit the bathroom, stretch their legs, and grab items from the overhead bin. In fact, during the 2003 coronavirus outbreak of the severe acute respiratory syndrome, that is the SARS, passengers aboard a flight from Hong Kong to Beijing infected people well outside the WHO's 2-row boundary. The New England Journal of Medicine noted that the WHO criteria would have missed about 40% of the patients with SARS. Passengers in window seats have the lowest likelihood of coming in contact with an infected person. A team of public health researchers set out to study how random movements about the plane cabin might change passengers' probability of infection. Now, the Fly Healthy research team observed the behaviors of passengers and crew on about 10 transcontinental US flights of about 3.5 to 5 hours. They not only looked on how people moved around in the cabin, but also at how that affected the number and duration of their contact with the other passengers. The team also wanted to estimate how many close encounters might allow for transmission during transcontinental flights. Now let's suppose you're seated in an aisle seat or a middle seat, and I walk by to go to the lavatory. We are going to be in close contact, meaning we'll be within about a meter. So if I am infected, I could transmit to you. Now most passengers left their seat at some point, generally to use the restroom or check the overhead bins during these medium haul flights. Now overall, 38% of passengers left their seat once and 24% more than once. Another 38% of people stayed in their seats throughout the entire flight. Now this activity helps pinpoint the safest place to sit. The passengers who were least likely to get up were in the window seats. Now only 43% moved around as opposed to 80% of people seated on the aisle. Accordingly, window seat passengers had fewer close encounters than people in other seats, averaging 12 contacts compared to the 58 and 64 respective contacts for passengers in middle and aisle seats. Now choosing a window seat and staying put clearly lowers your likelihood of coming into contact with an infectious disease. Passengers in the middle and aisle seat, even those are within the WHO's 2-seat range and have fairly low probability of getting infected, most contact people have on airplanes is relatively short. Now, if you're seated in an aisle seat, certainly there'll be quite a few people moving past you, but they'll move quickly. In aggregate, what we show is there's quite a low probability of transmission to any particular passenger. But the story changes if the ill person is a crew member. Because flight attendants spend much more time walking down the aisle and interacting with passengers, they are more likely to have additional and longer close encounters. As the study stated, a sick crew member has a probability of infecting 4.6 passengers. Thus, it is imperative that flight attendants not fly when they are ill. Okay guys, with this I come to an end of this video. If you guys like this video, please hit on the like button, share it with all your family and friends. I hope this helps people who really have to travel at this point in time. However, it is the need of the hour that you stay at home as much as you can and do not travel. And even if you have to travel, please stay safe. I will be back with you with yet another interesting videos. Till then, guys, please stay happy, healthy and safe, and let's fight this together. This is Arpita signing off from Flights of Fantasy.